It is Tuesday. That means it's 2 days after the Super Bowl. That means once again I'm bringing this up and no one cares.
Not really.
Okay, you know what? Also, let's talk about this pine box. We are not going to apologize for it.
Not really.
I kind of want to because this looks like a janky setup we have, but it
is a
what
janky setup.
We've got, people. It's what we've got.
Yeah, we don't want to go out and buy anything for these stupid videos.
Well, I want to make this a big production, but alas, I have a limited budget.
What are you saying? I'm tight?
I'm on cheap. No, you're not cheap. Mom's the one that's cheap. If I was trying, I had to buy this microphone, and the other one I can't figure out how to use. So there's $100 that's not being used right now. All right, Dr. Murphy, let's get down to business. We are here to talk about the coronavirus today, not about a pine box. We want to know, what are the updates? I have a couple questions that people are wanting to know. The two things I want to know, and I don't even know if this has anything to do with the coronavirus, but what's the general update? Is there anything that you can do, like loading up on zinc or vitamin C or any other type of measures you can take to help prevent the coronavirus or help you from being more sick if you get the coronavirus? And I guess the next question is, what is the difference between a virus and a bacteria? So lots of questions. We can hit one at a time if you need.
Hit one at a time.
First question, what are the follow-ups so far on the coronavirus? You did say that 5% of the population that is infected with the coronavirus will die.
That's pretty much still right on target.
Yeah, and
I said this two weeks ago? Last week?
This was last week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, but it just broke. This week it became, everyone was talking about it. In our video we talked about last week, posted Tuesday.
Well, you know, Michelle, it's, even though 5% of the people are dying, 5, 3, 2, 1, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a small, relatively small number. But, I mean, healthy individuals and elderly, and I mean, everybody's getting affected, you know, the same. And the deaths appear to be the same.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I read a couple of articles just about, you know, just skimming over it, not so much about the virus and stuff, but how the Chinese government is misleading and that there's actually more people sick and dying than what they're reporting. I mean, I don't know about our audience, but, you know, I believe the Chinese government because they're as straight as this finger. You know, whatever they're going to say is probably true. So, no, I think it's a lot more out of control than a lot of people think.
Yeah, I've heard they shut down Hong Kong basically altogether, people being able to travel in and out.
They're going to have to quarantine the country for long.
Which is smart because now I've heard that there are cases, I mean, it's just going to grow. Today we're recording this video on Thursday, so when you're watching this, several days will have passed, so who knows what will have happened by now, but
20,000 people will have it.
Yeah, there are cases popping up all over the U.S., all over the world. It's growing, and like what you said, the only thing that's really different about this than some of the other things that we hear about, like, you know, any other outbreak or potential pandemic or flu virus or whatever else, is that this is affecting healthy individuals just the same as it would someone who has some type of compromised system from some other type of illness. So that's why it's dangerous, right?
Hey, you remember the pandemic we were talking about, that pandemic of 1918? That actually lasted for a year or so.
Which one was it?
Well, that was the Great Flu Pandemic.
The what?
Pandemic of 1918.
What did you call it? What was it called?
It was a flu epidemic.
Oh, flu.
H1N1. Swine flu.
Oh, okay, swine flu.
Yeah. It was interesting that, you know where it started?
China.
I don't know. You know why they called it the Spanish flu?
Why?
It was called the Spanish flu back then. It's because Spain was the only place that was reporting the deaths. So everybody thought it originated in Spain, but it didn't.
Not.
And the reason it wasn't reported in Europe is because the war was going on, and all these soldiers and stuff were dying of the flu, and they didn't want to, you know, lower morale, so they didn't report it.
They just said they were dying.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's like, well, Doc, do you think he died? Do you think he died of the flu? No, he's got a gunshot to his head. Where's it at? Boom, right there. He's dead.
You know what? Once again, it just goes to show you the truth isn't what matters necessarily. It's just what you've been told.
Yeah.
And if you repeat it enough, that becomes fact.
I know. I just don't really believe much of anything
So
anymore.
is the coronavirus?
I don't think it's any.
It,
I mean, it's a serious bug. It's a mutated bug. We shouldn't be
yeah.
getting it. You know, it's interesting because
You,
pigs, swine, always get these viruses more so than humans
yeah.
do. It's when they jump transmission from human host or from an animal host to a human host that it becomes a little bit of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, I don't know. That's its mortality rate, I don't think it's going to be a whole hell of a lot worse than the flu. I mean, a lot of people might not know
Yeah.
this, but this past year, 70,000 people are going to be dying of just the plain old flu.
Yeah.
So-
But the difference is, again, the people who are dying from the flu are those who have other
Sure.
underlying conditions, and the coronavirus is a
Little
little
bit different.
scarier because
You can be healthy and die of it.
anyone could contract this virus and then also die from it. And you only have about 72 hours to handle it, right? To recognize, or is that a lie?
No, it's got a long incubation period. It's 10 to 14 days, so you can actually
Yeah.
have the virus for 7 days, be up
So
spreading
the
it
scary
around.
part is, in 2 weeks,
You can travel a long distance.
well, and in 2 weeks, we're finding out about cases here in America. In 2 weeks, those numbers are going to explode.
Sure.
They just have to.
I mean, there's other viruses out there, and we've talked about this:
Yeah.
the Ebola and the hantavirus, which is from the Four Corners down in Southwest Missouri, or not Missouri,
Yeah.
southwestern United States, but Ebola too. But those viruses are really lethal, and so when you get the virus, you're dead in 3 days. So you can't travel very far because, if you get to the
Yeah.
airport, and you want to travel across the sea, that's going to take a couple days.
Yeah.
So. You know you're sick before you travel, but these can be spread. So an organism or a bug or an infection that is indolent that can be spread for long periods of time because it has a long incubation period. It makes it a much more
Yeah.
difficult thing to control. Because if you see in the news, you got these people with these thermometers waving them on their foreheads, going,
Yeah.
"Oh, you got a fever? No, you don't have a fever. Well, you must be okay." No, they're
Yeah.
still infected.
Because it can take a minute.
Sure.
And probably everybody's bodies will process it a little differently
Absolutely.
too. So
Some people are going to
it
run a
may not
fever in
always
5 days. Some
show.
people are not a fever for 3 weeks.
Yeah. So can you do anything like, consuming more vitamin C, zinc, anything like that? What
I
is it?
think I think that stuff's going to help a little bit because if you look at the pathophysiology behind these viruses, it's not so much the flu itself; it's the ravage what they do to our immune system is they just rev it out of control, and essentially your own immune system is the thing that's killing you.
Because it's trying to
It's
fight the virus.
well,
and it's
it's
just wrecking itself.
overcompensating for it. Okay, so if your immune system would just quiet down, it's what they call cytokines and.
Is that why people they put people in induced comas a lot too? To help, so that you're.
it's for a different reason. That's to
Well,
protect your brain.
So.
In your case, it wouldn't help.
So there's nothing you can do
Gotta
to
have a
calm your
brain for it
immune
to work.
system down.
Well, no, not really. And people are going to say, well, you can take aspirin, Tylenol, and stuff. No,
Yeah.
that just really fights the fever. That's not really an
Oh.
inflammatory calming effect. That's just a
Right.
fever. And the
Okay.
pyretics, but no, it's the cytokines. And where these viruses really do a lot of damage is in the lungs,
Yeah.
because the lungs become inflamed. You die of what they call ARDS, which is a horrible death. You literally drown of your own body fluids in your lungs.
So basically,
It's horrible.
if you have this virus and it really is wrecking your system,
Immune system.
the
virus
whoever
would
the
just.
doctors are going to have to chase one thing to the next, what it's wrecking, to make
Well,
sure
they do.
that
It's not so much that everybody keeps looking for a cure, and
Some type of
vaccine,
vaccine, yeah.
for it. Where I think where they should spend some money and some research dollars on is trying to figure out a way to calm these inflammatory mediators down in the body. And it'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, so what? You get the flu, you get a little sniffles for a couple days, and you're over it.
yeah.
I mean, if you were to be on something like that. But there's other things out there, and we talked about Tamiflu and these antivirals that are by prescription, and I think they'll afford some, immunity. But most importantly, just avoid people.
Yeah. And what is the big difference between a virus and a bacteria?
Viruses are typically what they call RNA, not DNA. Most bacteria, a lot of them are DNA, so they have the same amino acids we do. Viruses, well, their amino acids are similar. They're a lot smaller, a lot single-stranded. They're not a double-stranded type of organism usually, and they're real tiny. I mean,
Are they contagious the same? Virus and bacteria?
I would think viruses would be more contagious than bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and a flu is a virus, not a bacteria.
correct. And there's really no cure. There's no antibiotics going to take care of the virus.
It just has to pass.
Yeah. Joseph Salk.
No.
Ever heard of that? This guy?
He plays for the Chiefs.
No. Invented the polio vaccine.
I should know that.
You should. Yeah, because you
I
are
was
in
in-
Rotary.
Yeah.
Who's eradicating polio, but you
know.
don't even know who Joseph Salk is. See,
we talked
this
about
is what
this
I have
legacy.
to deal with every day.
We
She
talked
doesn't
about.
even know this guy, and she's like raised thousands of dollars
Hey,
for his cause.
and you know what else? We were
That's what I
talking
put up
about a
with.
legacy the other day, and this is what I mean.
Okay.
Even this poor guy, I don't know who he is.
I know.
Look at all these great things he
I know,
did.
but you know what he said about viruses?
What?
They'll one day rule the world. He actually even theorized that the dinosaurs didn't die off of anything other than viruses. He might be right.
Yeah.
They're
We're
nasty,
the next
nasty
dinosaurs
little
in the
bugs.
making.
That's right. We're all going extinct.
Yep. Well,
What else we got
that's it.
about the flu? So yeah, vitamins. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and having problems, see your doc.
Yep. All right. That's everything.
Cross our fingers and hope this thing doesn't get too far out of control. We've already had
Yep.
flu season. I don't need another one.
Yeah, it just seems like it's going round and round.
Mm-hmm.
Well, stay safe out there. Hopefully this gave you some information. I don't know that we did, but we did talk about some things.
Stupid videos.
Yeah, okay. Well, contagious things start with negativity. Negativity is the most contagious virus around.
In that case, I'm lethal.
Stay away from this guy because his
Please.
negativity is contagious, people. All right. Well, we thank you for watching. We hope you stay safe. And we will see you Friday for Free Advice Friday.
Have a good week.